From the sleepy town of Krumbach via some giants of European football, here's his journey to Wembley. Sitting around 60 miles west of Munich, Krumbach's population is less than 14,000 people. But Tuchel's friends there remember a boy whose ambitions lay far beyond the Bavarian community. His will to win was evident early. Tuchel often captained his youth football teams, and his school side lifted the national German football trophy in 1987. The sport took the young defender on a whistle-stop tour of South Germany, from Augsburg to Stuttgart and then Ulm. A knee injury ended his playing career at the age of 25, though. Tuchel accepted his first coaching role in the Stuttgart youth setup in 2000, hired by none other than Ralf Rangnick. Under Tuchel's stewardship, the club's under-19s won their league title in 2005. But Stuttgart chose not to renew his contract, feeling Tuchel had an abrasive personality. He went on to manage Augsburg's second team before spending 5 years at the helm at Mainz. He then followed in Jurgen Klopp's footsteps and moved from Mainz to Dortmund. Here, Tuchel secured his first major silverware, the German Cup, in 2017. 8 more major trophies came next for Tuchel in just 5 glorious seasons. He won 2 Ligue 1 titles and a pair of domestic cups as PSG boss. At Chelsea, he famously lifted the Champions League, as well as a Super Cup and a Club World Cup, and he also bagged a Bundesliga at Bayern Munich. And then, 4 months after leaving Bayern, Tuchel was unveiled as England's new manager.
I always wanted to come back to England. That was my big goal. I have the best memories of the country, of the league and of the players, the attitude towards the game, the attitudes from the supporters.
Well, here's hoping Tuchel can finally drag England over the line at a major tournament.
Good morning, I'm Katie Shanahan and this is Early Sports Breakfast. Good to have your company this Wednesday morning. We've got loads of Premier League football to get our teeth into over the next hour. We are building up to a big day here on talkSPORT. The breakfast show is coming up at 6 a.m. with Ali McCoist and Gabby Bonhor on the show this morning. Nick Ellaby is in the studio. What's coming up on the show?
Morning, Katie. We'll start at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Thomas Frank's side booed off again. Seems a matter of time now, doesn't it? We've got Leicester boss Andy King on how they lost from 3-0 up against Southampton. We'll hear from Eni Aluko after a dynamite chat in the talkSPORT studio with Simon Jordan. He didn't hold back. And we're asking for your hair disasters. That Man United podcaster has got to wait at least another 5 games to cut his hair. As always, get involved on the usual number 03717 223344 or WhatsApp text 81089.
Okay, let's get into it. Now, talking of hair disasters,
Yep.
I used to have a bowl haircut when I was very young.
Literally, did your mum
It was
do it?
literally a bowl.
With a bowl?
Yeah, and I look back at photos when I was a kid. It looked horrendous. And my mum was like, no, you look very cute. I was like, I looked awful. How did you let me out the house?
That was all the rage in the 90s. I think I had one for a bit, literally like just a flat fringe. I reckon sort of mid to late 90s, that's what a lot of people had.
Yeah.
So I
still
think
looks
you probably
horrendous,
looked good then, no?
I still don't know.
Were you a tomboy?
A massive tomboy.
Yeah.
So much. Well, I have an older brother who's 2 years older than me. And so we were always so competitive in the garden. But also it meant that I got all of his hand-me-downs. So I was even bald for 2 years when I was younger. So everyone just thought I was a boy.
What do you think is the Premier League's worst haircut?
Oh, that's a great shout.
Cole Palmer's is bad.
Cole Palmer's?
Yeah.
I think Garnacho's at the moment. He should have just stayed brunette. He's gone all blonde, and I'm not sure it works.
Incredible cheekbones, though.
Yes, and that tattoo on his neck, you know.
You into neck tattoos?
No, but more that I think it just must hurt.
It must hurt.
I think Pete Wicks has the best neck tattoo going. But we've got lots of football coming up, haven't we?
Oh my God, so much.
So much football.
4 games last night, 5 games tonight, all exclusively live on talkSPORT.
Yes, we are drowning in football. Nick, thank you very much for now. You'll be back very shortly with the back pages. But let's get into the Premier League football. The big story from last night is that Thomas Frank is sinking deeper into trouble as Tottenham lost 2-1 to Newcastle at home, recording their 11th Premier League defeat of the season. Here's how all 4 games in the Premier League sounded on talkSPORT.
Willock whips in a dangerous cross. Chow! Saved by the goalkeeper, and Chow pokes in the rebound. And Newcastle do lead by a goal to nil.
And in by Amin Adli, and what a turnaround from Bournemouth.
And Jempong turned, down goes Bogle. Noah Gavor makes it 2-2. Chelsea 2, Leeds 2. Notching it into the path of Ramsey. What a brilliant goal! Newcastle United are back in front. Across the face of goal, somehow Cole Palmer has steered it over the bar from 2 yards out. And that is it. Listen to the boos at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. The fury of the Spurs support rains down on Thomas Frank.
And Burmo steadies himself, flicks it into the near post. Oh, and he's in. Šeško, 1-1. And with 90 seconds to go, Manchester United back on level terms. It's 1-1.
Yes, so Malik Chow reacted quickest after Vicario's save from his header to poke home. That's Newcastle's first before Archie Gray turned in the second ball from a corner to then give Spurs hope. But 3 minutes later, it was Jacob Ramsey scoring his first Newcastle goal and the winner as well. Spurs are still looking for their first win of 2026, racking up their 11th Premier League defeat of the season, 5 points off the relegation zone, and they failed to win any of their past 8 Premier League matches and dropped to 16th place, with large sections of the seats in the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium left empty, is some of the lines on the back page of the Times. As for Newcastle, they are up to 10th. Well, on Sports Bar last night, as you can imagine, talkSPORT's resident Spurs fan Jamie O'Hara was really worried about survival.
At this moment in time, I don't think Spurs have got the minerals to stay in the Premier League. I don't think they've got the minerals to get a result. When I look at the fixtures we've got coming up, I don't know where 3 points are coming from. When I watch the performances, it's nowhere near good enough.
It's getting worse, isn't it?
It's getting worse.
It's getting worse.
Like the goal that they score, the first goal, Tell comes on. Get tight. Get tight. Stop the cross coming in the box. They just allow things to happen.
Jay, the point I'm making, these players are used to be playing European football, Europa League winners, Champions League, and then when you come to the Premier League, it's a different animal. You have to fight in a different way.
Yeah, so Tottenham, where are they going to find a win next? Well, I don't think it's going to be their next game, up against Arsenal at home this Sunday in the North London derby. That's going to be tasty, isn't it? And that is at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where they haven't had a good record so far this season. Then they've got Fulham away, Crystal Palace at home, then Liverpool away before facing Nottingham Forest. So yeah, it's going to be tough to find some results rather. As for Newcastle, it's interesting to see Eddie Howe kind of go with a different starting lineup. He decided to keep Voltemade and Johan Wissa on the bench instead of going. He instead went with Harvey Barnes, Anthony Gordon and Langer. Does it matter? No, because they won the game and beat Spurs. Well, what made things worse for Spurs and Forest? Because West Ham continue their incredible resurgence under Nuno Espirito Santo with a 1-1 draw at home to Manchester United. And that podcaster, Frank Illett, still can't get his hair cut. Man United need 5 wins in a row for that to happen, which means he's got to start all over again. Thomas Souček was the one to put West Ham ahead. Casemiro actually had a header ruled out for offside. Adama Traore, who was playing in his first home game for West Ham, had the chance to win it in the 92nd minute, but then it was Benjamin Šeško who scored the equalising in the 96th minute with a remarkable looping first-time finish into the top corner. And we asked Michael Carrick what he's done to help Šeško.
I think he's largely helped himself, to be honest. I think the way he's applied himself and the way he's worked and doing bit extras and learning and looking at clips and doing a lot of work with the coach, I think it's just what you'd hope and expect from a player, but it's credit to him for doing it, and in the end you get some sort of reward for it, you know, and that's two huge moments for him. I know tonight was for a point, and maybe kind of doesn't have that same emotion, but it's a big goal in a big stage of the game, so credit to him, you know, he deserves it.
As for Chelsea, they missed the chance to go above Manchester United into fourth. Man United in fourth at the moment, unbeaten in 5 wins against Arsenal and Man City. So Michael Carrick's done pretty well there. But as for Chelsea, they let a 2-goal lead slip at home to Leeds. It was João Pedro who opened the scoring, running through on goal. Cole Palmer then made it 2 from the penalty spot, converting 18 now in his last 19 penalties. So he's got a brilliant succession rate in front of goals when it comes to penalties. Leeds then scored twice in 6 minutes, and Cole Palmer then missed a sitter, very unlike him, to win it on 94 minutes. He was literally a couple of yards out and just skied it over the bar. He's probably thinking, how on earth have I missed that? Well, the draw ends Chelsea's 4-game winning run in the Premier League under Liam Rosenior. Leeds, however, are up to 15th, above Tottenham, who were just below them in 16th. As for Liam Rosenior, we asked him about Cole Palmer missing from about 2 yards out, just right at the end.
Yeah, Cole 999 times out of 1,000 scores. It's just one of those moments that happens. He's in a great position, really great play to get there. But the key point from this game for this team to learn, we shouldn't even be in that situation. We shouldn't be chasing the game in the 94th minute. We should be comfortably winning the game for what our performance in the first 60 minutes deserved.
Okay, yeah, what a great start he's got under starting at Chelsea. And Cole Palmer actually spoke after the game about not being 100% fit, and like Liam Rosenior was saying there, you know, on any other day he scores that. But Cole Palmer was just saying that he's not 100% fit, but because he knows he can reach another level. So in terms of football tonight, you've got another load of fixtures. We've got 5 Premier League games for you tonight. Man City are at home to Fulham in the Premier League. That's an exclusive on Talk Radio, 7:30 kickoff. Same kickoff time as Aston Villa against Brighton, which you'll listen to exclusively on the talkSPORT app. Also, go to the app for Crystal Palace against Burnley. Also a 7:30 kickoff. talkSPORT 2 exclusive for you tonight is 7:30 Nottingham Forest against Wolves in the Premier League, and then 8:15 is Sunderland against Liverpool, which is on talkSPORT exclusively tonight. And the best thing to do is what I do, is just download the talkSPORT app and you can swipe between all of the stations. Okay, today we're asking you this morning, after the podcaster wasn't able to get his hair cut after Manchester United drew with West Ham because they need 5 wins in order for him to do that. We're asking you this morning your haircut disasters after the Manchester United podcaster Frank Illett has to wait once more, as he has to start all over again. He's got to wait for a trim, and he's promised not to get his haircut before Manchester United win 5 in a row. So give me a text, 03717 223344. Or you can text me 81089. Is there a terrible haircut you fully regret? Or is there a haircut you're thinking of getting? You're like, I don't know, maybe that's a bit bold. I had a bowl haircut when I was younger and then no hair until I was 2. But since then, it's actually not been too bad. I've actually stayed pretty similar. But let me know about your haircut disasters. 81089. I'd love to hear from you this morning. That's exactly what Craig in Windsor has done. Good morning, Craig. Good morning, Katie. Love the show. Almost finished the night shift and spending a romantic afternoon with my ladies. That's our 2nd anniversary. Oh, happy anniversary. Also laughing at how bad Tottenham are if they do get relegated and we win the title. That would be even sweeter, I know. Need a favour of Fulham later. And when I went through my M&M phase, I dyed my hair peroxide blonde. Wow, didn't last long. Well, yes, gosh, I remember M&M with the peroxide hair. That was quite the look, wasn't it? So that's from Craig and Windsor. Keep those texts coming in, 81089. This is Early Sports Breakfast. Me, Katie Shanahan here on talkSPORT. Coming up next, we're going to be getting into the best of the back pages and, of course, our top 5 quiz. It's 5:15. Good morning.
legendary retired referee Dermot Gallagher joins us here on the show. How are we, Dermot?
Hi, Majestic. Hi, Al.
Hi, Dermot.
Listen, let's just get your thoughts off that straight off the bat. We don't want to ask you no questions. You're the ref. Tell us what you saw.
I have to say, I get what Alan says, and I think lots and lots of people will say, give the goal. It keeps 11 against 11. It keeps everybody happy. But when you look at it, there's no doubt whatsoever Szoboszlai is fouled. And by Haaland fouling him, he will argue that stopped him clearing the ball off the line. But you go back, the only reason Szoboszlai gets that far back is because he actually hauls Haaland back. That's the first foul. So I don't think I think Craig has tried to play advantage because he thinks it'll be a goal.
Definitely, Dermot. He's played advantage, isn't he?
Yeah, he's played advantage, and bear in mind, Al, that he can always bring that back if it goes wrong. So
but if you go to the second part, right, where Haaland fouls him, right, but the ball's gone in the net. So why didn't he play advantage there as well?
Well, he can't play an advantage for foul on Szoboszlai, can he? Because if the ball's in the net, the game, it's terminated, isn't it? That moves over. But if you actually look, that ball's not in the net when.
Very good morning. Katie Shanahan here. This is Early Sports Breakfast. We are reflecting on all of the Premier League action that happened last night. More pressure on Thomas Frank as Spurs lose at home to Newcastle. I was just looking here. Thomas Frank actually has the lowest win rate of any Spurs manager since the arrival of Mauricio Pochettino with 27. The highest is 57% with Antonio Conte. West Ham got a good point at home to Manchester United, who scored an equaliser late. Chelsea let slip a 2-0 lead to draw with Leeds. And Ryan inspires Bournemouth with a win at Everton. We are building up to a big day here on talkSPORT with the breakfast show coming up at 6 a.m. with Ali McCoist and Gabby O'Bonlahor. But here are a few things you need to know this morning. Hearts lead the Scottish Premiership by 6 points after beating Hibs 1-0 with a dramatic winner 2 minutes from time in the Edinburgh Derby. Tonight, Rangers are away at 4th place Motherwell. Celtic, in 3rd, take on bottom side Livingston at Parkhead. Roberto De Zerbi has forced his exit from Marseille. It's leading to speculation that he actually could be in line for the Spurs job if Thomas Frank gets sacked. And Andoni Iraola has told us that Bournemouth's performance was patchy and they didn't deserve to win at Everton. Brazilian teenager Ryan scored again but conceded a penalty in the Cherries' 2-1 victory. Iraola gave us his thoughts on Semenyo's replacement.
Yes, I think there are some mistakes that you have to accept when he comes to a new league. He's 19. Obviously, he knows he cannot do this in his own box, but I think he's shown great character. No, he hasn't been affected by the pressure. I think he did an amazing play against Mykolenko. I don't know if it was a pen or not, but he was being a threat. He scores the goal, and I've liked especially his character.
Yes, so let's see how they get on tonight, because there are lots more Premier League games to bring you here on talkSPORT. We've got so much football going on at the moment. So, for example, you've got Villa up against Brighton, Palace, Burnley, Man City, Fulham, Nottingham Forest against Wolves, and then Sunderland, Liverpool is the 8:15 kickoff. So for more on all the day's biggest stories, you can go to talksport.com. And of course, you can say hello on the TV as well. We are on your Samsung, your LG, your Fire TV, your Apple, Chromecast, Android, Google TV, and Prime Video. talkSPORT is there. So come and say hello to us on Early Sports Breakfast this morning, which is exactly what a number of people have done on the text. Thanks so much for sending in all of your haircuts, and the photos are making me laugh this morning. Kieran, oh no, Kieran, what were you doing? He sent me this photo saying I had this 13 years ago when I was 17, and it's a photo, basically a diagonal slice on the back of the head with half of it bald, or maybe a number one, and the rest is hair. Wow, that's quite the look. Here we go. We've got Reese. For some reason, as a kid, I thought it was cool to have a Nike tick into the back of my head. Awful. Also, how hard is that to do? Because for the barb, it's got to make it quite smooth and everything. But yeah, Reese, that does sound awful. As for here, we got Buzz saying, I got a Vinnie Jones haircut when he signed for Leeds. I was like, I had a shaved V into the back of my head. My mum went mad. Come on, you mighty whites staying up. That's from Buzz from Corby. And here is from Collie. Collie in San Francisco. Wow. Good morning, Collie, to you. Enjoying the show. Worst haircut I got was, wow, here we go. The Beckham's mohawk cut in my teens. Definitely didn't pull it off. That's a bold haircut, Collie. Thanks so much for getting in touch all the way over in San Francisco. Okay, right now it is time for today's top 5. Okay, and it's welcome back to the studio. Nick Ellaby, you are here with today's quiz.
I am. Today's a World Cup special.
Okay.
All right, I want to know. Simple one. Top 5 all-time goal scorers in men's World Cups.
Okay.
Going back to, when did it start? 1950?
Okay, as the former World Cup champions, Lionel Messi's got to be in there somewhere.
He is there. Lionel Messi, 13 goals. He's in joint 4th.
Joint 4th?
Yeah.
Okay. Any of the Ronaldos? Let's go with R9.
Yeah, Ronaldo is second top scorer with 15.
Okay.
The Portuguese Ronaldo's only got 8.
Oh, wow.
And that is why, another reason why Messi is better than Ronaldo. I used to be a Ronaldo fan, but I think the weight of Messi's performances in that last World Cup, I think, just puts him ahead.
Okay, where else are we going?
So you've got number 2, Ronaldo, 15 goals across 4 World Cups. And you've also got Lionel Messi, 13 goals across 5 World Cups as well. And you're looking for someone scored 16 out in the top. You're looking for number 3 with 14, and also another player who scored 13 goals, level, joint 4th with Messi. And the incredible thing about this player, he scored all 13 in 1 World Cup.
Oh, wow.
The listeners will help you out.
Okay, I was just thinking, is Pele in there? Kylian Mbappe?
Pele's not in there.
Oh, wow.
Pele's just outside the top 5, joint 6th. So Pele and Kylian Mbappe both scored 12. But Mbappe's done that in 2 World Cups. Pele needed 4 World Cups to do that. But Pele did win 3.
I'm thinking it's got to be a German player in there.
There are.
Oh, closer?
There are 2 German players. Miroslav Klose is top.
Yes! Amazing. Okay.
16 goals. 2002, 2006, 2010, 2014. So you're only missing number 3 and also joint 4th. So maybe let's turn that one over.
Yeah, let's listeners help me out in our today's top 5. So the today's top 5 is
top 5 all-time goal scorers at men's World Cup. So you've got Miroslav Klose, 16 goals. He's top. You've got Ronaldo, the original Ronaldo, who's got 15. He's in second. And you've got Lionel Messi, joint 4th.
Okay. Let me know if you know the answer, 81089. Okay, let's take a look through the back pages, shall we? Where would you like to start?
Well, I mean, main story is obviously what happened at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Daily Express Sport, Ram raid floors Frank. So Jacob Ramsey settling into life at Newcastle, scored the Newcastle's first goal. Harvey Barnes scoring the winner. But Spurs defending was absolutely shocking. Frankly awful, it says on the back of the Daily Mail. Spurs boss fighting for job after Ramsey strikes killer blow. Frankly in big trouble on the back of the Sun. Tottenham Hotspur. You having that?
Yeah.
Star Sport. And Big Ben strikes. What a night in the Premier League. Benjamin Šeško. Did you see Šeško's finish? It was actually
very good.
Incredible finish. Ball in from the right-hand side. Not quite sure. Can't remember who played it. And it's sort of behind him. And he just low down on the volley manages to kind of loop it over his left shoulder into the top corner. It was a remarkable finish. Best story on the back of the papers, though, is exclusive from Matt Hughes on the back of The Guardian. EFL clubs will vote next month on an expansion of the Championship playoffs to 6 teams. Approval given for the vote by the FA's board. 72 clubs were invited to an extraordinary general meeting on the 5th of March. A simple majority of the 72 are needed to pass it. There is expected opposition from the Premier League, who are concerned about a potential drop in standards. But then Sunderland finished 6th. They got through the playoffs, and now look at them.
True.
They're 11th in the Premier League, unbeaten at the Stadium of Light. I think only Barcelona have a better record at their home ground pretty much in Europe at the moment. What do you reckon? Expand it?
I can understand why they want to expand it to add jeopardy towards the end of the season.
That's exactly why they're saying.
There, you can create a bit more drama, but then is it becoming too many? And therefore, you're laughing at me.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm smiling because this is pretty much the same conversation that we had when the playoffs were introduced. It used to be 2 go up. They made it 3. They also added those playoffs. And at the time, people were saying, well, look, why is a club finishing 6th, maybe 10, 15 points behind the club finishing 3rd? Why do they get a chance to go up? It's the same conversation. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you. Maybe that extra 2 places is a step too far. It certainly will add drama. Playoffs now, the playoffs are, probably the best day of the football season, right?
Yeah, but I just think 8 is too many. I mean, it's nearly half the league.
Yeah.
So, and also you do feel as though, will that then drop the standards? And yes, it means that there are more games towards the end of the season, but I think 6 is a solid number. If you add too many teams towards the playoffs, I just think the standard drops and it just becomes a little bit silly.
You might be right. Everton are weighing up a £25 million move for Jack Grealish despite his foot fracture. The Team GB at the Winter Olympics not going so well. The curlers that started so well, Bruce Mowat and Jen Dodds, they lost their bronze medal match against Italy. So we've spent 32 million quid and we've got no medals yet. But the best story is this Norwegian biathlete, one of the most extraordinary post-medal winning interviews in Olympics history. This is a guy called Sturla Holm Lagrade, who won the bronze medal in the 20-kilometre individual race in the skiing. But on the podium, he said, basically made an admission hoping his girlfriend realises how much he loves her. He said, there's someone I wanted to share this with who might not be watching. 6 months ago, he said, I met the love of my life, the most beautiful and kindest person in the world. And 3 months ago, I made the biggest mistake and cheated on her. The 28-year-old explained he'd been the worst week of his life after he told his girlfriend he'd been unfaithful. There's this amazing clip of him basically just in tears on the podium, winning his medal and appealing for her to come back. Well, should she take him back?
She should take him back, I think.
Yeah?
Well, I don't know what happened.
Well, we don't know
how
the
bad
details,
it might have been like...
He cheated on her.
Yeah, and it wasn't good. But then he's gone up on national television. I mean, the fact that it's just all over the papers this morning, depends how bad it was. But maybe give him a second chance.
Have you ever given anyone a second chance?
I have, yeah.
After cheating?
Yeah.
And did it work out?
No.
Well, okay.
He did it again, so yes.
Once a cheater, always a cheater.
Well, exactly. I was a bit of a mug, but there we go. Happily married now.
Good. Well, we've all got to come through these trials and tribulations.
Exactly. All got to be a learning curve. So
there we go. The bombshell is: don't get back with this guy because he's going to do it again.
Yeah.
That's the back pages.
Yes. Nick, thank you very much
Pleasure.
for now. Right, you're listening to Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT with me, Katie Shanahan. Up next, we're going to be having some fun with the front pages, and of course, we'll be getting a championship roundup as well. Good morning.
Did you think that the Super Bowl would get such a thumping up against the Premier League offering of Liverpool-Manchester City? I thought it would be much, much closer. You're talking about a difference of 500 million.
You are. But you're talking about, I mean, I've had this argument with Brian T. Smith, who comes in here, who I very much like, and makes the case that the Champions League final, I'd say, dwarfs the Super Bowl, and he makes his argument about scale. It makes my argument. Of course it makes my argument. But then you have to look back underneath it and say, this is a worldwide global audience that's watching the Premier League, watching arguably the biggest game in the Premier League.
Yeah.
And you've got multitude of broadcast deals around the world for global sports. Ostensibly, despite inroads into various countries where you've had the NFL on tour and it's made its way into Germany and it's made its way into Poland and it's made its way into the UK, it's a North American sport. And so I'd be fascinated to see, outside of the North American broadcasting numbers, how many of the 220 million people that watched it were outside of North America.
Yeah.
Because I'm willing to wager you that well, clearly it's obvious because the population of this country is only 70 million, that 90%, 95% of the people that watched the Premier League game between Liverpool and Man City was around the rest of the world.
Yeah.
And when the NFL gets its act together, which it's trying to do, and makes this a global sport, and makes it a participation sport and a viewing sport in all the four-flung corners of the globe,
fancied having a beer in the stands while watching your team at the Emirates, or at Anfield, or at Stamford Bridge? Well, this season you actually can. Drinking alcohol in the stands at Premier League games may still be illegal, but the Women's Super League is doing something different, and here's how we got there. Back in the 1980s, football had a serious image problem. The sport was plagued by violence, pitch invasions and beer-fuelled chaos. Then, in 1985, Margaret Thatcher's government stepped in. They introduced the Sporting Events Control of Alcohol Act, banning alcohol in view of the pitch across England and Wales. Since then, many fans and clubs have called for the law to be relaxed. But despite attempts to change things over the years, authorities just haven't been convinced fans can be trusted. But in January 2025, something did change. The Women's Championship, now called the WSL2, launched a trial allowing fans to drink in the stands. The reasoning? Well, fans at women's matches tend to behave differently. Less aggression, more family-friendly vibes. As a result, select WSL and WSL2 stadiums are now allowing fans to drink alcohol in view of the pitch. It's been a landmark move showing growing trust in fans and recognising that women's football is building its own culture. So could the men's game be the next to leave the 1980s behind? Well, maybe, if fans can prove they can handle a pint without pitching it at someone. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Until then, it's Bovril all around. Cheers to that.
Good morning. This is Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Katie Shanahan in the chair this morning. You've actually got me for the next 3 days, you lucky things. So I'll be here for Wednesday, Thursday and Friday, bringing you all of the football action, and there has been plenty, including last night in the Premier League. More pressure on Thomas Frank. Spurs lose at home again, this time to Newcastle by 2-1. West Ham got a good point at home to Manchester United, so it means that poor podcaster can't get his hair cut and he's start all over again. Chelsea gave a 2-goal lead. They slipped and it ended up in the draw with Leeds. And Ryan inspires Bournemouth with a win at Everton. We are building up to a big day here on talkSPORT. The breakfast show is coming up at 6 a.m. in 25 minutes time with Ali McCoist and Gabby Abonlahor. Here are some of the headlines you're waking up to this Wednesday morning. England have made one change for their second group stage match at cricket's T20 World Cup. That's against the West Indies today. Jamie Overton replaces Luke Wood in Mumbai. The first official testing session ahead of the new Formula One season gets underway in Bahrain today and runs until Friday. George Russell in his Mercedes and Red Bull's Max Verstappen are among those on track this morning. And in the Championship, Southampton now sit just a point outside the playoffs. That's playoff places. That's following a 4-3 win at Leicester. They were 3-0 down at half-time. Leicester's interim boss, Andy King, understands why his side got booed off after blowing that 3-goal lead. He told us about that second-half performance.
We obviously went to a back five, so I'd be lying if I said, I think we're going to be okay to see out the game. We obviously tried to shore it up at the back. That then didn't work. Yeah, it was always going to be difficult once we got one because we're fragile at the moment. We're in a fragile state. We do some really good stuff. We do some really bad stuff. We do a little bit of in between, and that's sort of how our season's gone. That's how tonight went. That's how previous games have gone as well. Like I say, apologies purely. I just want to apologise for that, for the result. Completely unacceptable. And like I said, I don't want to speak too much before I've watched it back and had a bit of time to reflect on it.
So Leicester are now above the bottom three on goal difference only. Norwich won at second bottom Oxford by 3-0. West Brom took points at Birmingham in a goalless draw. Tonight, Charlton will look to move away from the bottom three when they play Stoke. For more on all the day's biggest stories, you can, of course, go to talksport.com. Right, here is our top story this morning on Early Sports Breakfast. The pressure increases again on Thomas Frank after Spurs lost at home again. This time it's to Newcastle by 2-1. I was just looking at this story in the back page of the Times. Couldn't believe this. So Thomas Frank's win rate is the lowest of any Spurs manager since the arrival of Mauricio Pochettino. Just to give it some context, you've got Antonio Conte with 57% win rate. You've got Mauricio Pochettino with 56% win rate. Nuno Espirito Santo at 50%. Then you've got Jose Mourinho, 47% win rate. Ange Postecoglou, 41%. And Thomas Frank, get this, 27% win rate. And on the Sports Bar last night, Jamie O'Hara called for the newly available Roberto De Zerbi to now be installed as manager.
If I'm the Spurs board right now, I am phoning him up and getting him in at Tottenham tomorrow. Come in till the end of the season.
Why would he? Okay, here's the thing. Why would he take it to the end of the season? Why would he pick up?
Well, because
no, but listen.
Because he wants a job.
No, he doesn't need a job. He's got a payoff. He's going to be on gardening leave. He's going to sit there and he's going to wait this one out. What? Serious question. Why would De Zerbi dust off his passport and rush to North London?
Oh, come on.
No. Right here, right now. Why would he?
Come on, mate. You've got Champions League football still.
No, mate, listen, but what...
Come on, mate.
So you're telling me that that's the best job that he can wait for right now? They might be in the Championship next season.
It'd be the best job he's had.
They might... What, in the Championship?
I mean, I can't see Tottenham getting relegated. I think it still will be the bottom three, the way things are going in the Premier League. I mean, Tottenham, yeah, things aren't great. They are 5 points off the relegation zone and they failed to win 8. They're past 8 Premier League matches and they are in 16th place. But with the squad they had, I know they've got lots of injuries, but you still feel as though they should survive. Wolves, Burnley and West Ham in the bottom three currently, Nottingham Forest, and then it is Spurs in 16th place. As for the Premier League matches tonight, you've got Man City at home to Fulham. That's a Talk Radio exclusive for you, 7:30 kickoff. The next 3 games, all with the same kickoff time. Aston Villa against Brighton. That's exclusive for you on the app. Same exclusivity on the app is Crystal Palace against Burnley. Nottingham Forest against Wolves is your talkSPORT 2 exclusive. And on talkSPORT tonight, it's Sunderland against Liverpool, an 8:15 kickoff. And remember, no Dominic Szoboszlai after what happened at the weekend against Man City and getting a red card in the last minutes of the game after all of that controversy. Right, in terms of other programmes on talkSPORT, in case you missed it, you can watch White and John's show yesterday. Eni Aluko was on the programme explaining why she thinks men should take a back seat in presenting women's football. And after Laura Woods took Ian Wright's side, Eni told us that Laura gaslit her into thinking she was a good pundit.
Laura was actually one of the people that I would consistently go to. We got on like a house on fire. And I'd consistently go to her and say, how do you think it went? What do you think? How did it go? Again, I'm that person, right? Laura consistently, and I had to look at the messages yesterday and think, hold on, I feel a bit gaslit here. Laura consistently said to me, I think you're a brilliant broadcaster. I think you're a brilliant pundit, right? So I think there's a little bit of serving her argument at this point, which I respect. Listen, she's, she doesn't agree and that's fine.
Yeah.
But, I think there's an insinuation in there that you don't meet the standard. And again, I have to... I've worked too hard for people to just conclude that because you're not seeing me on screen, I'm not good enough. That's not true.
And this has made quite a few papers today. You can watch the full interview on talkSPORT's YouTube channel. Now, we are asking you this morning about your best and worst, your worst haircut disasters. So keep those texts coming in, 81089. But it is time now to reveal the answers for today's top 5 all-time men's World Cup goal scorers. And I'm pleased to say lots of you got it right this morning. Well done. So the top goal scorer was, in fact, Miroslav Klose with 16 goals. Number 2 was Ronaldo Nazario with 15 goals, R9. He's at number 2. These number 3 and 4 was the ones that we asked you to help us with. Number 3 was Gerd Müller, 14 goals for West Germany. Well done to Rich Taylor, Reese, Darren Brown, Dave from Doncaster, Tom, the Crystal Palace fan, and Jammer. You all got that right. Well done. And joined at number 4 is Just Fontaine, 13 goals from France. Well done to Guy in Brighton, Pebble the Trucker, and Ronnie the Gooner. And the 5th, joint 4th, was Lionel Messi with 13 goals. Now, a lot of people actually were saying Thomas Muller, he in fact got 10, so he didn't quite reach the top 5. So well done to all of you getting in touch this morning. Keep those texts coming in about worst haircut disasters as well. Okay, now it is time for this.
It's a front page throwdown.
Oh, what a move!
The front page is first on the early sports breakfast.
Talk Sport.
Nick is back.
I don't think I've showed you my bleached hair, have I?
Oh no!
I've got some fun. I've had most of the haircuts. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? I've had I had the David Beckham double ponytail once when I worked at a hospital, and they put me on the bins, so I had to tie my hair back.
Did you have a little hairnet?
I've had a hairnet when I worked at Tesco's on the fish counter.
Yeah, I had a hairnet when I was a dinner lady in France.
What? Dinner lady in France?
Yeah,
where?
On my French exchange, they just went and put me in the kitchen.
How's your French now?
It's all right, yeah.
Comme ci, comme ça.
Comme ci, comme ça, yeah. I just had lots of the kids. It was really cute, actually, when I was dinner lady in France, when I was doing all the washing up and like, obviously feeding the kids, in and around their playtime, and they'd be like, bisou, bisou, bisou. It's all very, very cute.
That's nice.
Yes. So, right, front pages. Where would you like to start for this one?
Ramesh Ranganathan says he had a near-death experience due to a bizarre chili oil habit. The comedian, 47, loves scoffing whole spoonfuls of chili oil straight from the jar.
Oh,
you like a hot food?
I'm an absolute pansy when it comes to spicy food.
What's your curry order? What'd you go for?
Paneer masala.
Oh yeah, we did.
We've done this. We've done your curry orders.
So mild.
No, it's because I went to a wedding in India.
Yeah.
Oh, what an incredible.
Food was good there.
It was, and I came away saying, right, I've got to have the paneer.
Love a paneer.
And your order was?
Well, there's a dish called lamb handi in sort of Afghan, very spicy lamb dish.
So you're a spicy man.
On the bone, a lot of ginger in there. Yeah, it's very hot.
Okay, so I'm not going anywhere near that.
I once had a file on Brick Lane and I couldn't get through it. It's like one of the hottest curries.
Oh wow, well done you.
£1 billion return. Well, I didn't finish it. £1 billion worth of goods, mostly Christmas gifts, were returned in January. Retail boffins said the close, 39%, were the most common items sent back in returnuary. Did you send any Christmas presents back this year?
Did I send any Christmas pack?
What's the worst Christmas present you've ever had?
Oh, bird food.
Whoa.
Yeah, from my late grandma. Okay. But I don't have any birds, and I don't have a bird bath. We do have a bug hotel, which I always laugh at my husband about. I'm like, Why have we got a bug hotel?
Who's staying in the bug hotel?
Who's staying in the bug hotel? Who's in the penthouse suite? I don't think we have many people staying in the bug hotel, but we do have a couple of birds that come and say hello. My robin, we've got a lovely robin that comes and says hello.
They're very friendly, aren't they, robins?
Well, we were talking to Vinnie Jones, the bird watcher, and he's obviously got that new series out on Discovery. But yeah, what else we got?
Well, Brits have lost the art of saying "I love you," apparently, with
That's very sad.
3/4 sending emojis instead. The figure soars to 8 in 10 for Gen Z, under 30s. Half of over 65s admit relying on emojis rather than words. Right? Men are more emotionally reserved, but women are more emoji expressive. You got a favourite emoji?
Oh, favourite emoji?
Yeah. I like the cowboy hat guy.
Oh, yes. Gosh, you know what? I need to use him more. But when do you use him? That's quite bold.
When I'm like happy or if there's something good coming
You've
up.
never, ever used that with me.
Well, listen, that reveals a little bit about our relationship. doesn't
Great
it?
show, thumbs up.
I've never said
If
I love you either.
Yeah, you wait. That's coming. What? Okay, what's your favourite emoji then?
It's the cowboy.
Oh, you're the cowboy hat.
I quite like the ghost, but I think when I want to say like something is really going to be like something later is going to be fun or I'm in a good mood, I'll put the cowboy.
You know what mine is? The guy that's dancing.
Oh yeah. The kind of John Travolta song.
Yeah, the disco guy, or the lady doing the dancing. Anything dancing and happy, I suppose. Is that all we've got time for?
How much time have we got?
I think probably last story very
I'll tell
quickly.
you what, Miami Price, David Beckham has sold his Miami penthouse for 18 million quid. It's claimed. Apparently he's made a 3.5 million profit on the condo. 59th floor flat has 5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms and a balcony.
6 bathrooms? That's a bit excessive, isn't it?
Why do you need more bathrooms than bedrooms?
That makes no sense.
5 bedrooms, 6 bathrooms.
Maybe it's getting ready, you know.
But
Everyone wants their own private space.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you live in a flat or a house?
Flat.
And would you like to have a house?
One day, yeah.
I mean, I want a dog, but I can't have one in a pokey London.
Well, that's the thing. I want a dog.
Have you got a dog?
No, but we're looking at dogs, but probably for a later time in life.
You know,
But
it's
I
an
love
amazing
dogs.
dog story. We don't really have that much time, but apparently dogs are stopping lovers from getting down and dirty in the bedroom. Data reveals the country's biggest relationship spoiler is not an ex or an overbearing mother-in-law, but man's best friend.
Oh,
So be careful if you get a dog.
Nick, thank you very much for now. You are listening to Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Katie Shanahan in the chair this morning. It's 5:48, and up next we're going to be looking ahead to 5 more Premier League games live for you across the talkSPORT network. Good morning.
Big statement here, but I think that might just be the worst refereeing or VAR decision we've ever had.
No, it's not. It's not.
How can you say it's a denial of a goal-scoring opportunity when Man City scored?
Because Haaland dragged down Slobosai.
Yeah, but Szoboszlai dragged Haaland.
Yeah.
Haaland dragged Szoboszlai, which is something we see all the time.
No, you don't. Not like that. Not 2 separate incidences.
So, okay, so you give one,
Yeah.
but then you've also got to give the other because there was 2 incidents. So then how can you give both?
So he played advantage, and then Haaland's in the advantage. He does foul Szoboszlai. I mean, you can't get away from it.
It's the decision is right. It's the right call. And
It's
you
not.
can't-
Listen, by the
It's the right
laws
call.
of the game, it's the right call.
Yeah, it's the right call.
And you know that's why you can't say it's the worst decision ever.
No, it's
because
definitely not. That's
because
just
the
rubbish.
referee, by the letter of the law, gets the decision right, in terms of the laws of the game. Do I agree with it? No, I think it's ridiculous. I think there needs to be some sort of common sense law brought into the game where that you just let go, right? You just let that slide. You just let it go.
2 fouls don't mean a right.
No, I know, but
you can't have.
No, I know, but
you can't have Slobosai dragging Haaland back. By the way, Haaland should score, and you can't have Haaland dragging back Slobosai.
Yeah.
If you remember, right, if you look back at it, Slobosai's looking for the free kick. He's gone to the referee on his knees like that.
Yeah.
As if to say, "Where's the free kick?"
A very good morning. This is Early Sports Breakfast here on talkSPORT. Katie Shanahan with you. We are building up to a big day here on talkSPORT. The Breakfast Show is going to be here in 8 minutes' time at 6 a.m. with Ali McCoist and Gabby Bonhor. Looking forward to seeing both of them this morning. Coming up today, we've got more football for you. 5 more Premier League games exclusively live right here on talkSPORT.
Who doesn't love a round of midweek Premier League games?
Watkins turning and shooting brilliantly. Edge of the area, thumping it in.
Each match, this week, this month, are very, very important.
Welbeck with the header, 1-1. Jumping is like Kwa with the flick. Saar hits it in for 3.
I love my team, I love Crystal Palace, I love the fans.
And Burnley are back on level terms.
Left-footed shot is in. That's the one he wanted. Erling Haaland, left-footed.
What I'm saying is what you have to do to beat Fulham. What you have to do better, because if we don't improve that, we will not win.
Wilson controls it, right-footed poke into the corner, and Fulham lead again. Morgan Gibbs White faced up by the goalkeeper, he chips it into the far corner, and Nottingham Forest are back in the game.
Has steered it in. Wolves have finally scored.
Sunderland bring it forward here. Right-footed effort from Talby.
Back into the path of Florian Wirtz, and he pokes it into Ekatike, and he nabs it through the legs of Nick Pope, and there's the equaliser for Liverpool.
If we don't have Champions League football, it's definitely not been an acceptable season.
Yes, lots of football for you tonight. You have Man City up against Fulham in the Premier League, a Talk Radio exclusive. That's 7:30 kickoff, as are the next 3 games. Aston Villa up against Brighton. That's exclusively available for you on the talkSPORT app. Also, where you can find a 7:30 kickoff of Crystal Palace against Burnley in the Premier League, also on the app exclusively. On talkSPORT 2 tonight, you've got Nottingham Forest up against Wolves, 7:30 in the Premier League, and it's at 8:15 kickoff, Sunderland hosting Liverpool. That is exclusively for you on talkSPORT. And ahead of Liverpool's trip to the fortress that is the Stadium of Light, Arne Slot has admitted that this is the toughest season he's had as a manager.
Yeah, that's fair to say. By a mile. Because all the other seasons I've managed, that there was only positives. There was never, don't think I've ever lost 2 games in a row. So, it's an exception this season for me as it is for the players. The players are not used to losing a lot or having a lot of draws. I'm not used to that as well. And it's always more of a challenge after you lose a game of football to get them going again than after a win. Tell them that we were not as good as they might think they are. So yeah, this season has been more challenging for me as well.
Yes, it certainly has been. Liverpool have won 11, drawn 6 and lost 8 games in the league so far as they sit 6th in the table, 4 points behind 5th place Chelsea, obviously after winning the title last season. Right, we've been asking you this morning about your hair disasters and plenty of you have been getting in touch this morning on the number 81089. I've got a few minutes to just read a few of them out, and some of them made me laugh. We've got here from Chuck from Derry saying, my worst hairdo was dyeing my hair peroxide blonde 2 days before my sister's wedding, and I had to walk her down the aisle. She wasn't long then marching me to the chemist for a Just for Men brown. Oh dear, peroxide blonde just before your sister's wedding. Wow. We've got Sammy, the Manchester United England fan, loyal listener to Early Sports Breakfast. Sammy goes, good morning, Katie. I would grow my afro out until next time Manchester United win the league, but I just don't know how long that's going to be. That might be a long time. Matt King says, I will always remember one of my mates getting the famous R9 bald with a fringe haircut. I did the standard Beckham fanboy thing and attempted curtains. That's bold. That's from Matt in Kent. And just one here saying, morning, I put some highlights in before my 6th form prom, my mum's DIY job, and left it too long, and shockingly bright highlights for the prom. Awful. Out in the rain, currently completing part of my running training plan for the marathon. Good luck. Paul from Cambridge. I did the London Marathon last year. One of the best days of my life. Just soak up the atmosphere and have the best time, and don't worry about time, just enjoy it. That's my best piece of advice. Like, loads coming up on talkSPORT Breakfast today. Joining Ali McCoist and Gabby Agbonlahor, you've got the former Spurs and West Ham manager Harry Redknapp will be on the show going over last night's game. You've got ex-Spurs defender Pascal Chimbonda will be discussing the unrest in North London, and a man named Super Ali Alistair McCoy-Sticky will explain why. You've been listening to Early Sports Breakfast, me, Katie Shanahan, this morning. Ali McCoist and Gabby Agbonlahor are on the way next here on talkSPORT. I'll be back same time tomorrow. Have a great day.
I don't see. I look at Arsenal and I've watched all the games because I'm waiting for them to slip up, and they can just change it. They can bring 5 players off the bench who should have started, and I think it's look. As much as none of us want Arsenal to win it, we just have to accept that it's their year and they've been building it for